I'll give you a little bit of an overview of our whole EV strategy. So in about 2015-16, we had a brainstorming where we said, I was a firm believer that the EV business will become much more mainstream than what most people thought. And the view was largely, that by 2030, at that time, I'm saying in 15-16, that by 2030, 15 odd % of the passenger car market and zero commercial vehicle will become electrified. The problem was that at that point in time, our customers were the mainstream customers. So it's like, you're talking to Kodak about, digital photography. I mean, company which is selling film, you're talking to them about disrupting their own business. So it's very difficult to, mentally reconcile to that. Whereas today, if you look at anybody, everybody says more than 50% of our revenues or even more will come from electric mobility by 2030. I'm talking about the large OEMs. So we put in place a strategy of creating a string of pearls. So we said that commercial vehicle and high-end passenger cars will be high voltage. And that is something which will probably come a little later, especially the commercial vehicle sector. And the first thing that will get impacted, especially in markets like India, will be 2 and 3 wheelers, which are low voltage. So we said we'll invest in a company which has high voltage technology, which was Teva Motors, which operated from 650 to 800 volts, and in torque, which is basically 48 to 96 volts. Now, the advantage of torque was that they had all the technology self-developed, which means their axial flux motor, their battery management system, all the converters, inverters, the whole software over the air updates, the data links, the neural network, everything is developed by them, including the charging technology. So what we said is, if we are investing on the low voltage and the high voltage side, and if my hypothesis is correct that the low voltage side will take off first, we will be able to build a component business for the low voltage side, okay, at scale, which will allow us then, when the higher voltage market starts growing, to get the advantage of our scale and be a big supplier, cost competitive, fully indigenous, and possibly even export.
Yes.
Because what is volume in India? 18 million two-wheelers, okay? Now, even if half of those got electrified by 2030, that's 9 million. Discounted by 50%, 5 million. Out of that, even if I did 10%, which is 500,000 supply of components, it still gives me tremendous volume. So that was the strategy that we put in place. So we made these investments, and we said that we want to keep our people with you so that our people learn, and that we have the rights to manufacture these products in our home markets.
Nice.
Then we also set up in 2019-20 an R&D center in Michigan, and then in 21 an R&D center in California. Now these are for the very high-end applications. Okay, I mean, these are absolutely state-of-the-art. So we will have everything that you need, and we will, this will all be unveiled in the Detroit Auto Show, hopefully, what all we're doing. So we expect that, one more thing, that I believe personally that electromobility is a level playing field. Okay, there is no advantage of your scale or your whatever you've had till now, because it's everybody starting from the same level. So we have a differentiated strategy, and we have seen tremendous interest and demand after talking to many of our customers for not only component supplies, but they also want us to manufacture vehicles for them. Because electric vehicles is largely manufacturing of components and assembly and testing. And they think that India for certain products is very good market, especially for two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and for commercial vehicles, which are small for last mile delivery. So that is some of the areas which we are focusing on, and we hope to build this into a large business. And I believe the government is very serious about supporting this industry, and I just hope that they provide a level playing field for all the new entrants who want to get into this sector, because disruption is created by new entrants, not by the incumbents. I mean, I remember at the same time in 2015 having a board meeting where everybody in our board wrote off Tesla, and I made only 2 points. I said, They're in California. There is no dearth of capital and there's no dearth of talent. So if they have unlimited capital, access to unlimited capital and unlimited talent, these guys will succeed. And that is the one thing we should not forget. That is what a newcomer or an incumbent brings to the market. A new way of thinking, a new way of solving problems. Why is Tesla today the only company which is unaffected by chip shortages? And their gross margin per car is the highest in the industry. I mean, at 1 million or 1.2 million cars, look at where they are. Now, can you imagine next year when they make 2.3 million cars, where they will be? And when they get to 5 million, where they will be?
So, Amit, sorry, I know we are extending our appointment time, but I just have one follow-up because it's such an interesting insight. Would you reckon that could the curve for Bharat Forge, consolidated entity, could the curve of the electric mobility piece, whether you manufacture cars, whether you manufacture components for two-wheelers?
I'm not going to manufacture cars, and we're going to manufacture components, systems, and subsystems.
Assemble cars. I thought I heard you say that.
I'm not going to assemble cars. I'll tell you honestly.
Didn't you say that right now in the previous?
No, I said last mile delivery commercial vehicles.
Okay, fair call.
Like, so you know, there is Arrival, there is Rivian, you know, there is all these, like last mile delivery is going to become a very specialized sector.
Okay.
Not cars.
So okay, I rephrase. So maybe I heard you wrong, but be that as it may, whatever you do within the EV space, do you reckon it has the possibility of becoming, you said you want to make it very large, has the possibility of becoming as large as your incumbent business?
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.